lads, welcome back. Right, this front end, I've come up with an idea for this bottom support here. So this is the other end of the leaf spring I cut down. And my plan is to use this under here as the bottom link. Well, as part of the bottom link anyway. Because it's got a bit of a curve and it looks pretty cool under there. It's a bit short, but I found this amongst the bits. This is a wing support, a fender support. It would have just give the fender some support. Wing. And the beauty is, look at that, it sits virtually in there straight away. So to cut that off something like that, so we got a nice curve at the bottom. This bush here would have had shackles down here to the leaf spring coming here. I drilled out the rivets, and as you can see, it's got this overhang where it sat through there. Well, if I cut that off, that'll fit nicely in there, and I can set that under there. So that's what I'm going to do. So there's a piece. Right, so I've turned it upside down. I'm going to have to grind off a few more of these. I should weld this up after anyway. And I'm going to tack these on. So there we go. I've just tacked them in there for the minute. I can't get the final position until the back axle's in, so I can get the caster right. There you go, that looks a lot stronger. These bits are going to slot in under here, but I've still got to weld it all up, so I'm going to leave them out for the minute. And I'm going to leave the front end there, and I think I need to go to the back end now. Now you're probably wondering why I used these big massive tyres on the back, because they are pretty tall. They're 30 inches, and for a car this small, this is the original Austin 10 tyre size. It's gained a good 3 inches, I'd say. You might be thinking it's a hot rod thing, but it's actually down to ratios. And the way I find my ratios, because I'm no good at maths, is go on Tremec. So the revs are 3500. The axle ratio on an Austin 10 is 525 to 1. So that does a respectable sort of 59.5 mile an hour. Going up the road at 3,500 revs, that's quite nice. So if we do the same equation over to 5,000 revs, now it's took us up to a whopping 85 mile an hour, which is, I don't know if I'd want to do 85 mile an hour on this. So, how am I going to spring this? I'm going to go with the same technique as I did at the front, using quarter ellipticals. It was always the plan. I like quarter ellipticals. They're not too far away off the chassis. Now I could bring the whole thing up, but I kind of like the idea of keeping that curve going up like I did on the front, and then that bolting over there like that. So first things first, I'm going to have to make some brackets to go off of here to carry the spring, and I'll be mounting them square to the axle, and then I can head off down into this territory.
Me and the boys with the torches bright all following close behind. Little boy tried to climb in a fence, get himself caught on the wire. Screaming like a fat piggy, 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 it's time to light the fire, yeah.
This bracket this side, I'm going to do slightly different and join it into the leaf spring mount. 2 of these, please.
Soft and sweet, 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 sweet. Yummy, 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 yummy.
They look pretty cool in there. Pretty happy with them. I'm going to cut all this lot off down here, just tidy this up a bit. The front head looks really cool. I'm really happy with this. I like these angles. These lower links look really good, and it's using up all the old Austin bits. Obviously I've still got to put some new bolts on here and tighten it up, and shock absorbers. Shock absorbers I'm toying with putting on the front here, or maybe on the side. I haven't made my mind up with that yet, but this can hang on for a minute. I sat the engine in there because it gets it out of the way for one, and I can start working out exactly where I'm going to put it, and I've got some ideas on that. Getting back to the back axle, I'm going to finish off these sides next, and then make a lower link, which I've got a good idea on that. But if you want to see that, you're going to have to either remember, or you could subscribe, and hit the bell, right? Next week, you might be having your tea or something, right? And it go ding dong. Well, I don't know if it's an actual bell. It might go dong, but it might go ding dong, and there'll be me cutting up at this motor again. And you want to see what happens, don't you? I know you do. Anyway, hang loose. I'll see you soon.
Hey!